How do you heal when you can't find the words? How do you release pain you can't explain? Dang bro. You really stumped me with this one. To say that I've been too busy to answer this would be an understatement. I just had to really think hard about this one. You see, this isn't a simple answer by far, which is something I rarely have anyway, so let's get to it. When I first read your question, I was almost embarrassed. The thing is, I always looked at myself as a quitter from the time I had to stop doing martial arts until literally the moment when I told my therapist about it and she explained that I didn't quit, I did what was necessary, and when she told me it was okay, I literally ugly cried. So, when I saw your question, my first thought was, well, how far do I go back? Do I go back that far? Do I start with my mental breakdown, or do I start with the first or second therapist? I was completely shaken by your question, but at the same time, I absolutely loved it. And I've been thinking about it from the time I read that question on and off until today, as I'm finally writing his out. I believe I've shared this before, but I can't remember, so I'm going to share it again. This is something I wrote while completely frustrated. Long before I ever started writing seriously, for a while now I've debated on what all I'd include. Would I hold back things to spare feelings or tell all my truths? For me, the only way to do so is to come out without anger. Would be to drop the pain, hurt, and traumas into words and ink, so it's without danger. When it comes to my feelings, that's a vulnerable state, and with me, I've only seen that end in a few ways. There can be understanding and we can have peace. But if I feel continuous attempts to attack, my temper can be quick on its feet. That's when my words can become genuine and cut deep. If an attempt to continue is pushed, my discipline is strong, and that's when I'll just shut down and leave it alone. I let the ink tell how I feel, because with deep feelings and things I'm passionate about, vocally, the right words just don't come out. You see, my mind races at a pace faster than my vocals can keep up. When I was a child, I stuttered, so when that happens, even that begins to piss me off. Don't get me wrong, clearly I can voice my opinions, but when it comes to voicing my feelings, I'm not that in control. When I was young, my feelings got thrown under the table. It was "you'll be alright," a Bible verse, or completely dismissed like I was wrong or couldn't have those feelings. Once I become angry, my cares go out the door. I don't love, I don't trust, and honestly, I would rather not see you anymore. It's why I hate being angry. It makes me dismiss my morals to a certain extent. And in that moment is when I remember who I represent. This is why you've heard me say Jesus holds my screws, because without him, I'd be scared of what I'd do. I was mean as a child for reasons I can't explain, but God saving me from cancer took my discipline to a different domain. I will truly walk away before I cause damage. That's my understanding of turning a cheek, because I won't stick around for it to continue to happen to me. This is why I write to express how I feel. It comes out better, genuine, and real. It can't be denied or ignored or cut off before even being able to explore the expressions coming from my vocal cords. If you don't finish reading what I write, that just tells me there wasn't enough care for us to move forward at all. When I write and it sounds confusing, it's because it's meant to be. I want it to be seen how difficult it becomes for me to think. The only way I express myself is if I feel I can trust you. Otherwise, I wouldn't care enough to think of you twice, because my goals are bigger than my life. So, it would be a simple laugh and a nice F you. I've been through too much to settle for anything less. God brought me through cancer, pneumonia with a breathing tube, years of denied depression, a broken face, an attempted suicide, and a great deal of family mess. There's no way I'm still here if I don't have a calling. When I've had so many great people lose their lives, while mine has been continuously saved and evolving. I've cut off my parents, sister, and entire family without a second thought. I'm numb to attachments in many ways. I don't even tell anyone I love them, but I hope to one day. The only thing I care about at this point is myself and my goals. I'd love to find a soulmate, but I'd be fine with peace and Scrooge money in that order. I don't mind being alone. It's actually my comfort zone. I know this doesn't answer your question fully, but I hope it's a start. To think back on the way I used to be is such a difficult task. I'm a completely different person. And dealing with memory loss since the age of 12. It's going to take some time and a lot more effort to clearly answer just how far gone I was. I was extremely mean and known for being an asshole, and I wore the title with pride. I was sarcastic about so many things that it blurred the lines for how I really felt. I wore a mask to hide my feelings and emotions so much that I became numb to any feeling other than anger. People felt timid around me because I was known for snapping at even the slightest of issues. It's an old saying that misery loves company, but, in my case, I was miserable and didn't want company, so I pushed people away, and for the ones that I couldn't avoid, I made them feel a version of my misery out of pure hatred for my situation. It was so much deeper than self-talks. At one point, I literally remember punching myself in the face because I hated what my life had become after losing my job at Wells Fargo and having to accept that without support and people who loved me, I would have been on the streets, in jail, or killed. This is why I'm so passionate about helping others and promoting Lost but Not Left. Because there's so much that I went through that I can't remember, but hearing the stories of others and seeing what people go through, I wish I could just hand everyone a copy of the book, because I truly took the time to think about all those that suffer in silence, and worse, the ones that don't even know they are suffering like I didn't and denied for years. Until next time, I love you all, Jonel Newman, and as always, all of my links will be listed below in the description. Thank you for your time and willingness to read along. And for those of you that have been rocking with me, I am truly grateful for each and every one of you in ways that I can't even begin to express.